Hey there, guys. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks so much for coming in tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. And thanks, YouTube viewers and replay viewers. YouTube viewers, if you'd like to watch live, you can join me in the chat on Periscope. I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. Just search for Penguin and Fish in Periscope. And everyone who's popping in, if you want to watch the replay of this, it will be on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies is my channel. If you guys wanted to check it out, and if you have any questions afterwards, you can leave a comment on YouTube over there. So I'm going to flip you guys around and we'll get going. Hey there. Hi, everyone. I see you guys popping in. All right, let me get this set up. There we go. Thanks for coming. Happy Friday. So last night we finished block 48 of the Splendid Sampler. It was paper piece, like a big pieces of paper piecing. And so I have all my stuff set up from last night, so I thought we would continue with block 22. I am not done with Goose on the Loose yet. I have one more segment. I think we can finish this finally tonight. So that's going to be 2 finished blocks in 2 days, which is a record, I think, for me on the Splendid Sampler here. So if you want more information on this project, we're doing the Splendid Sampler. You can find more info at thesplendidsampler.com. It's a year-long quilt-along. It's a mystery quilt-along, so we get new blocks every Thursday and Sunday. So we have a whole nother free day, too, tomorrow. The block 48, which we did yesterday, only took the one day, which was great. So we got a couple free days. So we're finishing up this block tonight, block 22. And I don't know, we might do something special tomorrow. I have sort of an idea. It's not going to be finishing a block, but it will be cleaning up some stuff and using up just a really fun way to use up scraps. So you'll want to see that tomorrow on Saturday. So, all right, I'm going to flip you around and we'll get going. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish. I make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer. I was busy designing fabric all afternoon today. I'm trying to get a collection out the door, so I have 3 patterns going. I gotta do at least 3 more, so that's been my day today. So I'm gonna flip you around and we will get going. Hello, thanks for coming in. Okay, to my space here. So if you're new to paper piecing, and this is a paper piece square where you sew directly onto the paper, if you're new to that, I definitely recommend watching the video from last night. It's now up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. It's the movie, or it's the one for July 28th. That was yesterday, right? So July 28th, and it's block 48. Because I really get talking in depth on different how to do each part of the steps. Tonight I'll probably do a little less talking about the paper piecing and just try and make it through the block. So yeah, so if you are new, I would definitely watch yesterday's video for sure. We did this a couple days ago, picked it up a couple days ago, and we already cut our white triangles. So I drew this in. The dark colored areas are the patterned areas, and the light color areas are our white areas. And the white area is this white and purple triangle, and we've already cut our triangles. Usually I don't pre-cut anything like this, but we just happen to need triangles for this one, so I just cut a few more that were the same size just because we have 3 there, but I don't typically do it like this for paper piecing. It just seemed to work for this one, but yeah, I don't typically do that. So, all right, let's get going. Start with number 1. I'm going to get these guys out of the way so I don't accidentally cut them. But number 1 is one of our colored pieces. So I've been using my scraps. These are all my scraps. Actually, not all. These are all my larger scraps, my possibly usable scraps from the Splendid Sampler so far. These are my tiny pieces, and this is what we're going to play around with tomorrow. I think it's going to be fun. So we're going to do that because my bag's overflowing here. So tomorrow I'm going to take all this out and we'll be down to no scraps in here, hopefully. Working on Twirl Time. Oh, 46. Oh, that one was fun. Yeah, that one, that was 2 blocks ago. That one was really fun, and that was deceptively easy, I thought. So yeah, be sure to check out that video. You can see it in the picture. It's from a couple blocks ago. Just scroll through the last few things. But yep, I did do that one. So all right, let's pick a color for here, and I'm going to kind of just base it on kind of what's big enough. I mean, this is big enough, but I already used it right here, so if I have to, I'll use this, but let's see what else is hiding in here. Oh, this is kind of fun. This might be cutting it close. Oh, I can angle it this way, though, because it's our first one. So I think I'm going to use this. I haven't used it yet in anywhere. I mean, it is kind of white, and these are kind of my white, so maybe I don't want something so white. Let's just keep looking quick. I kind of like it still. It's fun. Oh, we haven't used this yet in this block. Why don't we do this? This is one of my favorite fabrics that I've been using for the Splendid Sampler. I think we're gonna do this for the block. All right. I'm gonna just give it a little press because it's got that big fold in it. So just bear with me for a sec. All right. So this one's a little tricky because it's the right side looks a whole lot like the wrong side. Like I'm actually not sure which is the right or the wrong side. I'm going to pretend that this is the right side, so I'm going to put that down. And I just need to make sure that it covers the entirety of my number 1 plus a big generous seam allowance, and it does just fine. I want to figure out what angle I want. I think like this. Then all my painted dots will go this way. So I want to put a little dab of glue on the back of number 1. This will take off right away when we're done with this section. I'm just putting like literally a itsy bitsy piece. This is completely temporary. I'm just using this instead of pins. I'm going to do down here where it's pinkier. Maybe we'll go like there. How about like this? All right, we're going to go right there. Okay, 1's done. It's basically done, even though it doesn't look like we did anything. Technically, we're done with number 1. Now we're going to go to 2, which is where the process really starts, I think. And again, I would check out yesterday's video where I get into it a little bit more. This postcard technique, folding along that line. I take my time in yesterday's video too, so if you really want to, if you're super fresh to paper piecing, I mean, feel free to watch what I'm doing here, but I really get into chatting about it in yesterday's. Alrighty, I'm just trying to scooch through this one today. Alright, so now it's a white triangle, and like I said, I got all those cut out already. And I know they're big enough already, so I'm not going to do my normal testing. All I have to do is kind of get it in the middle. So I'm just going to sew. My goal is speed, getting this done tonight, because it would feel good to get another block out of the way. Not that I need to. I mean, there's no reason to really rush through any of these blocks. I am still enjoying myself, so that's, I guess, more important than getting them done, huh? Just every once in a while, it feels good to finish something. So I'm going to stitch just right along that line. I am going to go into the seam allowance, though, as well, and I kind of talk about that a little bit in yesterday's scope. So I'm excited. Tomorrow morning, my husband and I get to go and have a backstage tour of the Guthrie Theater in town. It's one of the big theaters in town here, and he took an acting class a few months ago, and they gave him complimentary tickets to go get like a behind the scenes tour. I'm not sure what's playing there right now, but we'll get to see what's going on in back, behind the scenes, like where they keep all the props and all that stuff and costumes. And I'm pretty excited to go see that tomorrow. So that'll be super duper fun. A fun little outing for the day. We don't do enough of those, so that'll be a fun deal. Go get some fancy coffee from somewhere and just have a nice morning out on it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. I'm pretty excited. Gonna walk outside downtown. It's going to be nice. Holy cow, you finished 3 blocks today. That is pretty dang awesome. That's like the other day those days when it was just so hot here and in all of the Midwest, when it was just like high 90s to 100s and all that. My mom just stayed in. I mean, she does so much stuff outside, so it was weird for her to stay in. I'm going to cut this off just so it's not in my way. But yeah, it was too hot to be outside, which is what she normally does. So I think she finished 5 blocks. And just recently she finished, it was that free pattern with all those paper piece butterflies. She did like 3 of those paper piece butterflies too, and they were just so pretty. So she was on a block making roll the past week or so. All right, done with 2. So this segment's gonna be fun for, I gotta cut first, for my scrap pieces, because it's not the big triangles, it's just little rectangles, so I'm gonna have a lot. Yeah, they are so pretty, those butterflies. Yeah, I mean, you know what, they look hard, but it's just this. It's exactly what we're doing here. It's just paper piecing. All you gotta do is follow the numbers, It's the exact same process. It doesn't matter how intricate those things are, it's the same process. But that's what's so fun about paper piecing, is it looks so crazy and difficult, but then it's just really easy. I wonder if this is big enough. I think this is way pushing it. I don't know. Oh yeah, I gotta do seam allowance there. Yeah, that's way too small. What else do we got here? I'm just digging through here. Let's dig down. Yeah, it's just one piece of it at a time, exactly. Oh, this one's pretty. Let's do this. Will be just a good size too. And it's big enough, this is a big enough blob that I'm not gonna have to measure again, which is awesome. All right. That's why I like the big blobs. Yeah, plenty. These smaller segments, like, compared to last night where I had to use fresh fabric, I like these smaller paper piece ones. Because first of all, you don't have to pin it, really, because it's going to stay in its place better just because it's not all big and floppy. But also, I can use up a bunch of my scraps, which has been really fun. I'm on a using up the scraps kick lately with the past few things. And tomorrow, with the little project that we'll do tomorrow, that'll be using up a lot of my scraps. That'll be fun. I'm snipping it right away. But yeah, all the paper piece projects, it's exactly this process. So once you get in the system of like the cutting the postcard stuff, sewing iron, postcard sewing iron, it's just, or cutting your blobs and doing postcard, like your tabletop, sewing, and then the ironing board. It's just those 3 things over and over again, and you can just really get into a groove. And there's no measuring really. There's no fancy cutting. It's just you do your little system, and it doesn't take any thought after a little while. You just have to make sure you don't forget to skip a step. All right. this is looking cute. I love these colors together. It's just so fun and playful, these reds with the little purple. Liking it. All right, number 4. We're gonna cruise through this, and then I want to assemble it all tonight too. Just get it completely done. So then Sunday, I'll be helping, my husband's finishing up his movie, the Great White Storm movie. I think we've talked about it here a little bit, but it was all shot at winter. I know the postcard trick is the best ever. Here's my cute little postcard. But we're just at the last stages of his movie. We're working on the color for it. I wonder if this is big enough. This would probably work, but I think it's just getting too close for comfort. How about this? This one will be good. And so that's what we're going to be doing Sunday, finishing up his movie, which you know we've been working on for a while. But for color correction, you basically have to sit in a dark, like a pitch black dark room. Like he's put blankets up in his office. So there's no light coming in at all, and it's just a dark room all day. So that's the one fault, or the one bummer about that. But it's exciting. We're going to get that project done. And then Monday I won't be here again because it's my painting class during this time. But it's also my husband's birthday, so we're gonna go out and celebrate that on Monday. I'm pretty excited about that too. And that's also the day that I'm gonna break the whole 30 and eat fun stuff and drink fun stuff. Then we'll be visiting my parents, and I'll be eating and drinking fun stuff again, and then I'll get back onto the whole 30 food thing when we get back, I think. Have to have cake, exactly. We're gonna go to this restaurant in town that's so delicious. It's our favorite restaurant in town called Butcher and the Boar, and they do the best drinks. Like, they do the best old fashions in town, which is kind of my deal lately. And they have a dessert person there, a pastry chef that does such amazing desserts. Just the best. Best in town for sure, I think. And we'll probably eat food. We're not gonna be there until after my class though, so our reservation is until like 10 almost. So it's gonna be like a super late dinner. That's basically all meat. It's called Butcher and the Boar, but it's delicious. And then we're gonna have like the best drinks and the best desserts, and it'll be a good birthday, I think. Not as good as mine, where we went to New York, but still. We did the New York trip over my birthday. That was fun. Alright, I had just a brain freeze all of a sudden. I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, okay, between 5 and the rest of it. I was thinking about something else, and my hands were working, and then I wasn't sure if my hands were doing the right thing. But the body knows what it's doing. Like, I should have just let my body go and keep thinking about my other stuff, and I think it would have been fine. Alright. So this is another white square. Let's get that out. Again, I think if I just center it in there, we're going to be plenty good. We're about halfway done with this guy already tonight. Doing my little back tack. Is he submitted his film? Yeah, so he already submitted his film to the Flyway Film Festival. I don't know when he finds out if he gets in or not, but that's kind of a local one. But they show great. great films. It's just kind of a really nice little film festival. It's just over the border in Wisconsin, but that's where he shot most of the movie. Actually, yeah, most of the movie, not all of it. Some of it we shot here. So we're hoping it gets into that because all the people from town so many people from town there helped out and played a part in it. So I'm thinking that would be the best place to show it. So he already did that. He submitted it there though before he was completely done. I mean, the story was done, but he still is working on sound and color. That's what we're doing now. But when it's completely done, then yeah, I think for sure he'll submit it to some other film festivals. But yeah, he did submit it to that one, but special because that is where it's shot. We shot most of it on a farm in Stockholm, Wisconsin, where it just looks like a white desert, basically. A white, frozen tundra desert. And then it's about like this kid and the dad who have to travel across that desert. And it's just so pretty. And it's real, like that's all real snow and real everything. And, that people don't do films like that very often. Just out in the cold like that, and man, it was definitely cold when we were doing it. I'm glad to not be shooting it anymore because it was fun. I mean, it's always exciting to be on set and all that, but oh god, I had so many clothes on and wool everything, and then there's no sleep because you're planning for the next day, and you can only do that for so long. But yeah, we're at the final stages now. So that's our Sunday. I'm pretty excited about that, to see where that heads. All right, you know what? I'm just going to... This is a good piece. Got some... Oh, no, that's too small. Too small. We're going to have to work with our bigger pieces now. Like this guy. We'll do this side where it has all the pretty stuff. So that means I'll just match it up there. Yeah, so we're sewing number 6. Oh, we only have 3 left, 6, 7, 8. And then we can start assembling. Well, we may have to pull out another project, or you know what? Maybe we'll just call it a quick one tonight. This is going much faster. I am going for speed. Like the last time when we were working on this, and with last night's vlog, I was really explaining stuff, but I kind of mentioned that once you get going, you just get in your system, your circle of stuff here, table, machine, iron, and you just keep going like that, and you can really get cruising after a while. Oops, let's get that right underneath the foot. And honestly, I mean, this really becomes relaxing. That's what I was most surprised about, because crafts all have like a different feel for me. Like for me, knitting and crochet are my complete let the brain go away and chill and recoup sort of crafts. And when I started doing this paper piecing, well, and then like for me sewing and quilting, that my brain has to be more active because you're having to make decisions, you're having to pay attention to how you're cutting and all that. To me, that's like an active craft versus knitting and crochet, which is my let the brain go dead craft. But I noticed, like, when I was doing paper piecing quilting, I was having some of those same feelings, like with the knitting and crochet, where I just don't have to think. I don't have to, like, measure or do any of that stuff. So I was having that really relaxing feeling, and I don't usually get that with quilting. Oh, you're going to try the paper piece dress. You know what? Maybe we'll break that one out. Well, no, again, I think I'll stop once we're done with this for the night. But yeah, I am, that's another paper piece one that I'm nowhere near finished with. So we'll have to do that. Yeah, that one will definitely, big coffee needed. That one will definitely take a bit longer than most of the other ones we've been doing. Well, that one's so fun because you just get to see it develop. I only have like the bustier part of it done. The the upper part of the dress. So I got all the rest of it. Like I don't have any, you know, there's that needle and there's that thread spool and like the whole bottom of the dress. I mean, I got none of that, none of that at all. So that's awesome that you're working on that one. I definitely, that needs to be one of my pickup ones soon here. All right, I'm gonna trim quite a bit of this off. Actually, I'm gonna trim it. Well, we'll just, yeah, I'm gonna trim it. This is a good scrap I can use yet. That one took concentration. Yeah, I didn't do the best job at pinning our things together. Oh, but that's something that you might want to watch. You might want to actually watch my video on that because I do explain how you put the different segments. Like this is a segment, and then we did another segment, and I showed kind of how to match them with pins because that's the one thing in the last couple paper piecing, like this one and this one, we didn't have to deal with that at all. We didn't have to deal with the matching of two segments together. You know, like the left part of the bustier and then the right part where we needed to match. We haven't dealt with that with any of these, so I would take a look at that video again. And you know what? These don't have any seam allowances either. Like if you just pretend that we don't have this outside line, I mean that's what the dress is. It's just as if we don't have the outside line. We're adding the seam allowance to all of these anyway, so you just always add the seam allowance, and then you should be plenty good. All right. I need one for this piece here, so let's pick out another fabric. I'm wondering, you know, I have these kind of sewn together. I wonder if those are, I wonder if I can spare one of these. I wonder, maybe maybe I'll seam rip this, and then I think it'll be big enough. This is from, I don't know, one of the other blocks where I just made a piece too big, and let's see if I can do that special way of seam ripping. I never do this very well. Get it underneath there. The checkerboard. Oh yeah, that's totally where this is from. You're totally right. Yep, checkerboard. That was the first block. Oh, there we go. That was the first block that I really tried to focus on precision because I for sure am not great at, you know, it was sewing the straight lines and the scant quarter. That's for that checkerboard block. I measured every single segment after I sewed it. I mean, it took us forever to finish it because I was really being careful. But that was my test in can I attempt accuracy. Maybe all the cutting of the sections apart. Not sure, but oh, don't cut the sections apart. I see what you're meaning. So you're cutting like the A section and the B section. It's gonna be no problem. Oh, how do you do? So that's the proper way to use a seam ripper. I recently learned that. So I think I have another sewn piece in here. Maybe I'll try it again. Right here. So yeah. So what you do is you know facing this way with your point area down. You just get the first one or two stitches. It's kind of hard to see on this blue. I think you can see on the red side a little bit more. So I'm just gonna, come on now, get the first little bits just so I can get it opened up like that. And then you flip it around so that the ball part's down, and you get that ball part right in the seam, like where you can see the seam kind of like open up like that. You get that ball part underneath there, and then you just hold down this side, so you're kind of pulling this way, and then you can just zip up right along. Oops, I let go. You can zip around up the whole thing. So that's where you put the ball side down, and this is a pretty cheap pretty cheap thing. But there, that's how you do the seam ripper. You don't, if you can, you don't pick out like every fifth thing and then pull it apart. That's the trick. You get the first couple, open it up, and then you flip it around and just go zoop. So there you go. How to use a seam ripper. I learned that a couple months ago, so it's not like that was something that was obvious or something that you should know, you know. That was a recent learning thing for me. You know what? Oh yeah, this is the piece I was going to use. So I'm just going to press that seam out. Yeah, and I mean, you could do a whole super duper 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 long seam. Like you could do a whole seam for like a border of a quilt that you screwed up on. You can just do the whole like that, and man, it's pretty dang slick for sure. But yes, the proper way for a seam ripper, I learned that recently. Oh, you know what? This will get cut off. So I'm doing number 7 now. Well, glad I could be available for you. How is that? Oh, I don't even know what I said. Like, I just talk in sound effects. I don't even know I'm doing it. My husband makes fun of me sometimes. I have no idea what I said or did. Alright, number 7. In their grave, smacking their head. Finally they get it. I know, right? That's pretty funny. I want to kind of get some of these little blue bally things in, but I'm going to kind of cut them off, I think. But oh well, we'll give it a try. So I just need to make sure that I'm far enough over that I'm going to get this point here and my seam allowance, and that looks, I'm going to err on the side a little bit more. All right, we're good to go. And then it's just our last little triangle, and then we can sew the whole thing together. That'll be nice. Nice. All right. Oh, the zoop. That's the sound. Oh, there's my mom right there. Hey, Mom, I just did your magic seam ripper thing. The real way how to use a seam ripper. I was trying to pick out a seam, I don't know, a couple times ago when I was at my mom's and dad's, and she's like, that's not how you do it. You do it like, you just flip it over and zip right up. I'm like, wow, that's the coolest thing ever. I know, yeah, like, it's the worst trying to pick out each little bit, like every couple stitches. That's unpleasant. And sometimes I still have to do that, like if the fabric, if it's just not doing the like zip all the way thing, then sometimes I'll pick it out like that still, but if I can get it to do the whole thing, that's fun. Goose on the loose. I'm excited that this guy will be done. This is my, did I draw your mom's cover photo? Oh! That's funny. Is that showing up on hers? Yeah, that was actually, oh yes, so that was, I forgot about that. So a couple of Christmases ago, so I got some software to do machine embroidery, just to give it a try. You know, I do, all my stuff is hand embroidery, but I got a program where I could play with machine embroidery, and I got like a super cheap, like $400 embroidery machine. And for Christmas presents, I drew portraits, basically, like line drawing portraits like that of everyone in the family. And we stitched them onto tea towels and gave everyone tea towels and then like chocolate and a whole kitchen towel sort of set with washcloths and all that. But we gave each one up tea towels with their head on. each person in our immediate family. So that's where that's from. My brother uses his for his little icon too. That was fun. I'll have to do that. Try that again sometime. So I drew the portraits on the computer and then converted it on the machine, and that took forever. Like, cause you know the machine, the embroidery machine program has its own system of doing things versus a normal like Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator sort of program. So that was a pretty big learning curve. But that's why I did it too, just to learn how to use the software and play around. All right. Last piece. Still gotta sew everything together yet, but that shouldn't take too long. Oops, that's not right. Here we go. Yay, last line. Yeah, I definitely need to have a paper piecing day. Although now that I think about it, I think, oh, I do have two. I was thinking maybe the dress one was my last paper piecing, but it's not. I have 3 more segments, which is 75% of the balls in the air paper pieced one to do yet, and that one's pretty intense as far as number of pieces and the size of the pieces and all that. So that's a pretty intense paper piece project. So I have the dress and that one to do yet. So I don't know. One of these days we'll just have to do a whole paper piecing day where I finish up both of those. Or you know what? When we have free days, like how we had a free day for this a couple days ago, and we have the free day here, we're just gonna have to start ticking away at those paper pieced ones. Although I'm behind on applique and embroidery ones as well, so we could dedicate a whole several days. Yeah, several marathons: a paper piece marathon, an embroidery marathon, and a applique marathon. Oof, I have a lot of appliques. I think I have mostly appliques in my unfinished ones. All right, here we are. So now we just have to trim it, and this black's done. I really like how all these colors kind of came together. I'm pretty excited about this segment. All right, let's cut that. So now I'm grabbing my just normal ruler, and again, I'm not using the outside seam allowance as my guide to work from. I'm using this inside line because this is the actual final sewing line. So I want to get my 1/4 inch from that line to be more precise than the paper. Like, see, you can already see here my paper just seems maybe a little smaller. But all right, let's get that. My little pieces. Oh man, I am pretty excited about having fancy dessert on Monday for John's birthday. That'll be fun. I've been eating all this healthy stuff to stick to the Whole30 stuff, which is no sugar and no grains and anything like that. So I'm excited for sugar again. What's planned? So in the morning we're going to, or I don't know, morning, afternoonish, we're gonna go to Vertical Endeavors, which is in town here, which is just like a rock climbing wall facility that we always thought looked fun, but never actually went over there to do it. So we're gonna attempt to do that for fun, which might turn out to be a total disaster. So we're gonna do that on Monday, and luckily we both work from home, so we can kind of just take off Monday. And oh wait, that's not right. Whew, there we go. I thought that looked a little funny. I'm like, why are those colors the same down there? Oh, that would be awfully cute too. So we're gonna do that, and I don't know, hang out during the day. I don't know how long we'll be there. And then I got my painting class, unfortunately, so I think John might go watch a movie by himself or something. And I don't want to miss my painting class. it's the second to last one, and I paid for it and all that, so I want to go to it. And then we're going to Butcher and the Boar for a big, yummy, meaty dinner with drinks and the best drinks ever, and super yummy desserts. So we'll just hang out there until it closes, probably. Oh, oil painting! I'm taking a beginning oil painting class, and I'm so over the moon in love with it. I am having such a good time. I just purchased for at home here one of those boxes that you can take outside and do plein air painting, which is just like painting out of doors. And I'm just getting that set up. I'm trying to figure out this whole disposing of rags and that sort of thing, or cleaning them, and and once I figure out that, then I'm taking it out on the road and gonna start painting on my own. I haven't done anything out of class yet, but I so want to. I have like so many ideas. I want to do still lifes of sewing stuff. Like it'd be fun to just have just this laying on the ground with my iron in the background and the machine. That would be a cool still life or something. Ooh, going to France for plein air trips. That would be fun. And then I have like all these other ideas for series, so I just want to get going, and it takes practice and all that too. Oh, painted tea towels for Christmas. There you go. Yeah, I'll paint everyone's portrait instead of sewing machining their portrait. That'd be so weird. It'd be so weird I guess it probably was weird for them to get a portrait of themselves on a tea towel, but at least it's functional. With the if I painted like an oil painting of their head, that would just be like, okay, I'm gonna hang up a picture of myself in my house somewhere. It would be kind of, I don't know if my family would be down for that. But it'd be fun. It'd be fun to try. So, all right, I'm totally just putzing with these things. So I'm just putting it right sides together, and I'm gonna sew these two pieces together. I'm keeping the paper on still. I think that's perfectly fine. So they're together. I'm just gonna sew that. Oh, Jason Bourne Friday. Yeah, awesome. Well, that means that I may not be here Friday next week either. So we're headed to my parents' house, where you can hear the frogs outside again when I Periscope from there. It's so fun. That's where the frogs live. Oh, okay, great. A matinee. That means I can still do my scope in the evening. But yeah, John, my husband, wanted to go to the new Jason Bourne movie for his birthday. Like when I was going to be at my class, he wanted to go alone. And I'm like, well, I wanted to watch that too. And he's like, well, I'll just watch it again. But then my mom said that, or not my mom, my dad said that he wanted to watch it too. So now he's waiting. He's not going to watch it on his birthday anymore. So we'll all see it together there. That'll be fun. That sounds like a fun shoot 'em up movie. Anyway, I'm excited to see it too. All right, so now I am just gonna. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pay attention to where these meet. So this would have been a good opportunity for me to put a pin right here through both of my papers. I should have done that. Maybe I'll do that for this piece down here. But what I should have done is put a pin right through that point and have it come up through this point, and then put pins around it. Then I would have known that my point is going to match up perfectly. And I didn't do that. I just put my two pieces together. So that's why, if you look close, it's not the perfect point. And that's why I just sewed it. I didn't, match my points up. But this is what I'm talking about. So on the dress pattern, it looks good for me. That's good. So on the dress pattern and all these other patterns that have all the pieces, you're definitely, when you put your segments together, like I'm putting two segments together, you want to look, okay, is there anywhere along this segment that I need my things to match, like this point? It's more important with like the dress pattern. That's where you're going to want to put a pin through it and do it. And I'll show you how we do it down on this one. But first I'm going to press this open. You know what? I'm a little wary of I don't want to put the iron on this side because it'll just all this will get on my iron and will make all my stuff dirty. So I think I'm just kind of finger pressing the wait a second, am I going the right way? Yeah, I'm finger pressing the seam in the opposite direction so I can do my nested seams. And now I'm gonna press it. Oops, here, let's get you guys up there. Give it a little press. At this point, I could probably take the paper. Oh, just remove the seam paper for pressing. Oh, that's a good idea. Then it won't be so thick. Maybe I'll do that right now. Oh, good night. Thanks so much for coming in. So I think I am going to take the seams out. It'll reduce the bulk too. And it probably would have been a whole lot easier to press. So yeah, doing that now, taking off that paper. I love it, taking off the paper to reveal the perfect seams. Yeah, you know what, this was totally smart. I'm gonna do this from now on, especially on these square ones where it's so easy to do. Oh yeah, they embellished. I may actually have to do that too because mine doesn't match very well in the center. I even did the pin method, but I think it was getting bulky. I think I should have done this. If I would have gotten rid of the seam allowance, I think I would have been able to match it up. But yeah, I might put a little decorative thing there too because it's actually pretty cute, those decorative bits that people are putting in. I'm going to remove it from this old one right away too. But I might end up doing that too. I'll probably do some sort of stitching though. I haven't really been adding objects like buttons or anything just because I'm planning on using this quilt, which probably means that I'll be washing it and all that, and I don't know. I don't know if I want buttons on it. I use a homemade color catcher. Oh! Oh, good! Yay! So a homemade color catcher, how did you do that? I know we talked about it a little bit the other night, but yay, I'm so happy that worked. Good, now you don't have to like do the whole thing again. Oh god, that would have been just unpleasant. That's awesome. So all right, so I'm going to, did I put those in the right spots? Yeah. So this is where I'm gonna just match with these two seams going in opposite directions. I can nest those together to get that perfect point in the middle there. But here's how you do that pin thing. I should have done it the other way. So let's grab some pins. We have enough time tonight to do the pin stuff. So I am going to put a pin right in that spot where I want to match. And I'm going straight down. I'm not going at an angle, just straight down to that point. So I want this point to match the point on the other side. So I'm going to turn this one around, and I'm going to keep putting it in here until I end up right at the right spot. So that's not bad. It's maybe a little off. Let's try and tweak it in there a little bit more. There we go. So now I'm a little close. So now I'm through that point. So I'm basically just through both points, the 2 points that I want to match. And now I'm gonna, get these seams together and get my edges together. And I still want to make sure that this is going straight down, not like angled like this. 1 cup hot water, 1 cup borax, soak some squares of felt. That's interesting. Huh. So what did you do with the felt? I missed that last part. Do you just put the felt on top of it? All right, so I'm keeping my pin super straight there. Now I'm going to pin around it to hold that in place. Ooh, it's pretty thick. Pretty thick in the paper here, so hopefully this works. This side. There. And now, in theory, I don't need that pin anymore. So, and this all I have to do, again, is make sure my seams are nested once I start sewing, and dry it, and then put it in the washer with them. Oh, with the item. Huh. That's pretty fancy. How cool, though. I'm so happy that turned out, though, for you, like that it got cleaned up. All right, so I'm doing the same thing on this side. All right, so my pin's falling out. Let's try that again. Yay, that is awesome. All right, there. That's good enough, I think. We're through both those points. Let's squish together and get my pin straight. If my pin's straight, then I know that they're together. If it's pulling this way and that, then that's not what we want. Then they're not going to match up. So, all right, straight pin. Match up the edges. Now let's pin on either side of that again. Hopefully this works. In theory, this should work. Ouch. Oh, myself. All right, and pin on this side. I hate pinning. It's just, I mean, pinning is super important to get things to match up, but I always poke myself and it always takes forever. Two things I don't like. All right, our seams still match up there. So we should be ready to sew now. I'm gonna just keep sewing along that line. In theory now, I could be sewing on my scant 1/4 inch. That's probably more accurate because my line looks like it jiggers a little bit here. But in general, I'm gonna go on here. Oops, I can take that out. All right, let's scooch over here. Yeah, these pins are actually a little thinner. I have some thick ones too, but I took most of them out of here because I like these slightly thinner ones. All right, let's do this. So the other thing is that when I'm sewing it, I have to get that point to match up, I have to make sure that I'm sewing right on that point. Like if I veer off a little bit, like if I'm a little too high or a little too to the right or to the left, then I'm not sewing on that point. So I need to, all that stuff we just did with the pin, that only matters if I actually hit the point. So I'm paying attention to my diagram here yet for that reason. All right, let's get rid of that guy. I love these magnetic. This is like totally broken. It's taped together with tape. I dropped it and it broke in half. But I love it. You can just, it's magnetic, so when I pull a pin out, I just kind of throw it in that direction and it grabs onto it. All right, I'm going through, in theory, that first corner area. All right. The next part to match is our seams that we've nested. So that should be okay. And I'm just gonna kind of veer down to that other line, even though they're not quite matching. Oh, you got one of those too? Yeah, it's just awesome to just kind of get in the general vicinity. I don't think I could deal with, a traditional one where you have to poke it in there and find it. After the magnetic one, I mean, I actually have you seen those ones? I think they're square, but the needle or the pins all fan out, so the points are all in the center, and all the outside, or like all the glass parts are on the outside. Have you seen those? Like it's just in a circle. Somehow it makes it so all the points go in the middle. You can throw them on there and they'll rejigger themselves so that, all the points are there. I'll have to find out what those are called again, but I kind of want one of those. If I was in the market to find a new one, but, I'm in the, like, why buy a new one when I have this, but those look pretty rad. All right, going through that second point that we pinned. And now we're finishing it up. And I suppose at this point I could get my starter, my leaders and enders in here again, but I just forgot. Because we didn't use those for the rest of the paper piecing. Okay, so let's see how we did with our points this time. All right, so here we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better here. So this point, and it'll be even closer once we take all the paper out. So that one and this one. It's just, we're still a little different, just because I think it's so bulky, but it is just a hair better than this. But in general, I mean, that's the deal. That's how you, and I must have pinned this one, because look, that one's really, really good there. But yeah, so that's that pin technique, though. You're going to want to do that on the dress to put the pieces together for sure. Otherwise, things will get way jiggered, goofy. But that's the pin technique when you're putting segments together. So all right. I'm gonna do that thing where let's get rid of the seam allowance here again, and we'll press this and take out all these papers, and whew, that will be a black finished. I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty excited. So when I'm visiting my parents next week, well, I guess I haven't told her that we're doing this yet, but I'm hoping that, I don't know if she's in here yet either, my mom, but I'm hoping we can both lay out all our blocks again, and I can show you all our blocks. Actually, you know, while I'm, oh, you're still there. Okay, good. So I'm hoping that's okay with you, that we lay out all our blocks again and I can show everyone. But last time we showed our blocks, I think we were only on 25. And while I'm visiting my parents, we will have gotten to block 50. So we are like 2 blocks away from block 50. So I think on that day, like block 50 day, I think that's when I'll share all of our blocks, and you know I have a lot of unfinished ones, but I'll show you where I'm at with them. And it can be a where are you at, like 50 blocks party sort of thing. Oh, you're getting yours all out at 52. Yeah, exactly. That's our plan. Well, I'll probably take them all out beforehand just because I'll want to see all my moms, but we'll just keep them out. And oh, I know we're gonna have to move all their furniture probably. Just our 2 quilts when they were at only 25 blocks took up so much space, and now so we are it's double, you know, obviously 50 and 25 since we saw them last, and I'm so excited to see my mom's in person again, and it's just neat to see because we're both using completely different color palettes, so it's really kind of fun. I'm going to just tilt this to one side. In theory, I'm guessing I should press this open, but I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to just press it like this, and then we'll take out all the papers. I'm excited to see both of ours again. It's just so fun. I mean, that's with everyone's. Like, you go on the Facebook page, and everyone's is just so different, even though it's the same design. And you wouldn't think, some of these designs are so simple, too. You wouldn't think that they'd all be so different, but they are. So I think we were like this. So here we are. Actually, we can probably choose. I think I kind of like it like... I'm calling it like this. I like it like this. So we got to use up a ton of scraps, and I don't know, I'm totally digging it, and it's another block practically done. I'm going to take out all the papers now yet, though. So it's for reals done. And it's fun. I was saying this yesterday, I'm not always a huge fan of taking out all the papers. I kind of find it a little bit annoying, but we did talk about it. I do like that sound, that ripping sound, and I love the reveal of our perfect seam allowances. And that's kind of the magic deal with paper piecing is you get to cut crazy blobs, but your seam allowances are still perfect. Like they're more perfect than if you were doing normal piecing, and I think that's pretty neat. You look like you're some quilting magician when you do paper piecing, if like a quilt person were to look at it and just be like, wow, how did they do all that? If they didn't know what paper piecing was. It's a fun technique to know how to do. It's, like I said, it's like a little magic trick technique. All right, I'm mixing my fabric and papers over here. Get all my stuff out of the way so I can make a nice garbage pile here. Yay, block done. Whew, it does feel good to get 2 blocks done in 2 days, though. That's for sure. And I'm kind of on this paper piecing kick. Like, it's been fun to do this for the past few days. Ah, yep, you made it for the best part, Kathy. We are just... Here you go. This is, I think we decided, like I like it this direction, the best. This one and, what's the other one that we did? This I think was the other one that we did the other day. Oh, yay, that's neat. Now you love paper piecing. That's awesome. Yeah, it really, if you don't, paper piecing is definitely something that if you don't have some sort of tutorial or some sort of insight to what the heck to do, it can be completely overwhelming. Like, I could see that just being just insanely overwhelming. Did you embellish the most recent one? Nope, I did not. Oh, here's my most, I don't know if you saw it. Here's my one from yesterday. No embellishments. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I don't have time for embellishments. I got 12 other blocks to finish. Actually, I think now I'm down to, I might only have 10 blocks left now. 10 unfinished blocks. Nothing's getting embellishment. Actually, I was gonna add embellishment to the squirrel block. I might still do that. Ah, well. Almost no embellishments for the sake of getting things done. You're not embellishing it either. Yeah, I got other stuff to get done. I'm thinking. And you know what? I mean, the embellishments are really pretty, and what people are showing are just so fun. Like, a lot of people are stitching in between each line, like little cute embroidery stitches and stuff, and that's really fun. But, you know, there's something really nice about just a clean, simple block, too. Oh, I know, I saw your butterflies. So Mom did, I was saying this a little earlier, she did those paper piece butterflies that were part of one of those bonus projects. And they just turned out so sweet. I kind of want to do the butterflies, too. But I haven't been doing any of the bonus blocks just because I'm, you know, trying to get through these normal blocks. Maybe when we get towards the end, I have to print them out yet, but maybe when we get towards the end, I'll do some of the bonus blocks. The only bonus block I did was the one that we got the day before the whole the Splendid Sampler came out. So it's like block 0. That's the only bonus block I did. But there are definitely cute ones. Mom did those sandals too, and it turned out so cute. And you'll get to see all of those when we on Block 50 Day. We'll have our little show and tell. But yeah, I didn't do any of those. So her quilt's gonna be much bigger than mine because I think she's caught up with all her blocks too. So I'm 10 behind and don't have any bonus blocks, so I'm probably 20 behind how many blocks she has. That's okay. She's got a bigger bed to cover than I do, so she can have more blocks. I'm definitely, when I'm done with the Splendid Sampler, gonna turn this into a queen size quilt though. Like, I want this to be, you know, a quilt that we actually use in our normal daily life. So queen size is what I'm shooting for. And I think I can do that if I put very small sashing in between the blocks or no sashing. And I'm kind of leaning towards no sashing, just because I kind of like when the blocks blend together. At least when we're laying them out, I kind of like that. So to make it quilt or queen size, I think I might have to add a little bit of a border. Actually, I'm not sure. I'll have to run the measurements in my head again. Well, it'd be 60. It's because this is going to be a 6-inch block, so it'd be 60 inches by 60 inches. I think queen size is like 80 inches. So I'll have to add like a 10-inch border around or something. Yeah, so I think they're going to have a sample setting, but I'm not sure how in-depth they're going to get on finishing. But I would assume that they do something, just because otherwise it's like leaving everyone hanging a little bit. So my guess is, I think they're going to have 1 or 2 settings. And then the designers got all the blocks early. So when the new block is released and you see all the different versions of the block, one of the designers stitched each one of those. So the designers got all the blocks a little bit early. So technically I could look up to see what the next block is, but I haven't been doing it. I haven't been looking at the blocks because I want to be surprised too. but where was I going? Oh yeah, so all those blocks are designer blocks. I forgot what I was talking about for that. Anyway, here we are, guys. Finished block. All papers out now. It's gonna look cute. Oh yeah, I was talking about butting up against it. So I think some of the designers might have finished quilts before everyone else, so maybe they'll display their quilts. You know what I mean? But like, look, I kind of like this how it when they're butted up against each other. Just how some of them, you know, I think it's cool that this blends into this. Some people that would just drive them crazy, and you know, other projects that might drive me crazy too. I would want like a separation, but for this Splendid Sampler, since there's so many different things, I kind of like that it all kind of blends together. Like I really like that a lot. So anyway, 2 blocks in 2 days. Pretty nice. So all right, there we go. Here's a super basic paper piecing. This is like the next level up paper piecing, and then you get to like the dress, and that the dress was probably the next level up from here, and then the that circle, the balls in the air. I would definitely call that our most advanced paper piecing, just because that edge is so small. The curve around that balls in the air one. But there we go. So all right, I'm gonna flip you guys around, and oh wow, we went over again. I got talking, I guess. Hey there. I always think that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this done early. We'll be done super early, but I'm already like 10 minutes behind again. But here we are, finished block. I am totally loving how this one turned out. And this one wouldn't have turned out like this if I hadn't used my scraps. I mean, I was just grabbing scraps for this, and I like how bold, like that red, it's a big old bold red line up there, but that's cute, I like it. So all right, there we are. So tomorrow night, I think I'm going to do this, we won't work on a block, we're gonna do this technique to basically make fabric out of your old scraps. And we did this before the Splendid Sampler. I did this for my Be Brave embroidery. We're going to take Fabricelvi and make our own fabric from all our scraps. I think it's going to be kind of fun. It'll be just like a little fun break, a fun little project to do, and it will empty my bag, this bag that I've been saving every single scrap, all my little thread ends and everything, and I need more room in this bag for the next 50 blocks, so we'll do that tomorrow, I think. It'll be a fun little change of pace before we get a new block on Sunday. So, all right, guys, this will go on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. You should just be able to do a search for that. And oh, you've been waiting to do that. Okay, good. So tomorrow is the day, using up the scraps. So, all right, I will see you then at 9:30 Central. Have a great night, everyone. See you later.